All right, we're just getting started here. Today we are at Wildcat. It's beautiful outside.
It's awesome out here right now. After all the rain that we've had the last couple days, everything cleared up perfectly right now.
I actually, it's funny, I was talking to my wife on the way up here, and I was just mentioning that the tornadoes, thunderstorms, all that kind of stuff, it's kind of funny how afterwards, you have this terrible weather, and then you get the most beautiful weather almost every time.
Yeah, it's definitely better than I was actually expecting today.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Here's hoping we'll get that tomorrow as well. But what's up, everybody? We are here at Wildcat. This is the Yukon Gear and Axle Northern Racing Series #1, presented by Mickey Thompson. And we also want to mention that Wildcat is an official partner of the NRRA, so huge shout out to them and all of our sponsors that help us, be able to come here and do what we do.
Yeah, this is, this is what we do it for, right? This is why we show up. This is why a lot of the drivers build their rigs. This is, we have, first off, a really impressive amount of spectators again.
Friday especially.
It blows my mind every single time that I get a chance to actually see the spectators here. If you're looking at us on camera, my name is Jesse Williams. I am from the Racing on the Rocks podcast, a podcast that interviews drivers from all the UTV, bouncers, Ultra 4, and everything in between. If it's off-road, manufacturing, whatever it may be. If it's related to the sport, they're on the show, and you guys can find that on Facebook and Instagram. But that's where I'm from. This is my second race, and I'm here with longtime veteran Bree Molitor.
Yeah, this is my second race plus a few, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm Bree Molitor, guys, and if you haven't joined us before and maybe you were scrolling through Facebook or something, I don't know, somebody told you about it, you are in for a treat.
Absolutely.
We've got UTV Cup and stock class racing today, and then UTV Bounty and the big bouncer class and the RC class tomorrow, so it's going to be a jam-packed weekend. Lots of racing action. We have some really good courses lined out on the hills.
We do.
Some good, nice long ones, which I always like to see because everybody travels so far, to get here, and you spend all week getting ready and probably pulling some all-nighters in the shop if, I feel like that's a pretty common racing experience.
It is. I would say if you follow any of the racers online, you'll see that night before is the night before they leave. It's pretty busy.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen engines pulled out. I've seen entire drive lines pulled out of the car.
Speaking of, where's DC? He wasn't at the driver's meeting.
Is he signed up? Because if he signed up and he wasn't at the driver's meeting, he's going to pull a Winrock and he's going to be here just in the nick of time.
Zach said he was here, but that he was pre-running, and then he wasn't at the driver's meeting.
Oh, no.
So I'll bet you anything. He was working on something.
Yeah, that's never a good sign when you see a driver at pre-running and then he misses the driver meeting. So hopefully DC will be able to get out here and enjoy some of this beautiful weather with us and enjoy some of the awesome racing. Now, I'm looking down there. Today is UTV only, and how many entries do we have here? I know just for the stock class we have 12, but we have quite a few unlimited cars down there.
Quite a few unlimited. Let me find that.
Absolutely.
Are you done with this one?
Yep, absolutely. Go ahead. And for those who don't know, we have stepped up our technology just a little bit. I have brought this.
Well, I brought my notebook, so I didn't really step anything up.
Well,
Jesse did, though.
I want to help any way I can, so we're going to get all of these numbers correct. And we've got a driver on the line already, and it should be Casey Howell.
Yeah, we had a couple late entries.
Oh, is this Cup or is this the stock? Okay. Casey Howell on the line, everybody.
I can't get it to play.
Casey Howell is off the line. Now, if you've never watched a race here at Wildcat, one of the cool things is that we've got a very wide open section here, so the drivers are actually going to do a few ups and downs. And one of the really cool obstacles that makes Wildcat so interesting is this gigantic rock that is smack in the way, and you're going to see Casey there just going over the lip of it. Every single time that there's a race here, the drop-off on the other side of that rock continues to get really nasty. And as always, our race is going to end with some pretty serious hill climbs. A little bit of trouble for Casey there.
And Casey, this is his first time racing with us, and he is also the first driver out on the course today. So he's showing us all what this course looks like for the stock class right now for Hill 1.
And out the top, just like that.
That was a 56.895 for Casey Howell.
56.895.
Fastest time of the day. I will always make that joke. So if you're a regular watcher, get ready for it, because first place, first run will always be the fastest time of the day.
All right, I have not been able to pull up the live feed yet for some reason, so if y'all are talking to us or asking questions, we're not ignoring you, just not seeing it yet, so hang with me.
Now, I will add one more time, if you're just now joining us, this is the Yukon Gear and Axle Northern Rock Racing Series, race number 1, presented by Mickey Thompson at Wildcat Off-Road Park. And Wildcat is actually an official sponsor of the National Rock Racing Association, so glad to come visit a park that supports us like they do. On the line now, we should have Curtis Lemon.
All right, there we go. And
Confirmed.
yeah, I see that some of you guys have noticed that our feed is looking pretty
Looks
good
like
today.
It is.
We're hoping
Hey.
it stays that way.
Let's see what he can do.
And Curtis Lemon is out on the track now.
If I remember correctly, Curtis is running a Pro XP, and that's confirmed by the video there. Curtis, in pre-running at
Come
Windrock,
on, Kurt.
ripped the front
Keep
diff out of
going.
his car. So
There you
obviously
go.
that's fixed now. Four-wheel drive's working hard, and he looks like he's taking a little bit of time in these downhill sections, because what you can't see is that that's actually pretty off camber, left to right camber-wise. But Curtis is a fabricator himself, and he's out here to show us what his products can do.
Yeah.
And Curtis raced with us at Windrock, and that was his first race with us. So.
It was in two-wheel drive, too.
Yeah, I'm glad to see him back out here again, though.
Yeah, so he spent some time talking to me just before Windrock, and he was like, well, I don't have a diff right out of the gate, but we're going to give it our best. And out of the top for Curtis Lemon with a very quick run there.
6'1",
That's a
183.
61-183. 61-183. Kurt Lemon.
Looks like Casey's still hanging on to that best time of the
That's,
day.
hey,
Next up,
50-50.
Carol's husband, Brandon Davis.
All
He's always
right.
been a lover
Brandon
of the full body.
Davis
He's really
is on
excited
the
about this
line.
class coming in the series. We'll see if he can do any good.
He is racing the UTV stock and cup classes, as well as the bouncer class this season.
That's a busy man. And like I told him last time, I'm not 100% sure if something's changed since then. I didn't get a chance to speak with him today.
Go.
But that is a basically stock Turbo S other than cage and other safety requirements. He's out here right
Yeah.
off the showroom floor, basically.
Yeah, I think Windrock was like his first,
It had 20 miles on
really
it.
even driven it at all.
Absolutely. So there's a man with a conviction for racing if
And
you're
I
willing to
think-
take that machine
I
out
think
that
he's
soon.
racing that for the cup class.
That's correct.
Well, yeah.
Now, something they say is smooth is fast when it comes to racing. I think that you'll see a lot of guys
There you go, Brandon.
get some big air like that, but Brandon on that rock face, he actually went over slow, let the front end come down, and kept all four on the floor and tried to keep the momentum going forward. So I'm curious to see if we'll have people rocket ship off that rock, or if we're going to have people do what Brandon Davis
We'll
did
have a
just
few
there.
interesting things happen.
That's a
45.669 for Brandon.
45.669. Brandon Davis, 45.669.
And I think Brandon is working
I
on
can't
a
make
new
this up.
Can-Am. I don't know when it's supposed to be done, but so we'll see how long he's driving that vehicle.
Yeah.
See when he gets into a new one. All right, who's next here? I think we've got another one of our new drivers, Sean Dowdy, I believe he said is how he pronounces his last name.
Yes, that's correct.
So I guess because my sunglasses are polarized, you guys might notice I have to keep doing this like librarian look here. I can't see the screen at all for some reason. It's totally black when my sunglasses are on.
I completely
I also
understand.
can barely open my eyes out here without this white table. And the
Yes.
sun.
Also, looking at a computer
Sure.
screen is adding a little bit of fun here. So we will try and make this
Yeah,
work.
we might have some squinty, funny looks today, but that's all right because we're enjoying the sunshine.
Absolutely. And Sean is on the line right now. Clock is about hot, and we're ready to rip.
All right, Sean, let's see what you can do.
All right, and this is Sean's first time racing with us. I love, we added the stock class, our Rock Life's UTV stock class this season, and already it's brought, a whole new crop of drivers.
A handful of drivers already, and this is race number 2. Now, for those who don't know, Rock Life Off-Road is a UTV parts dealer, and they do awesome work for all of our drivers, and it's always to have good, to have retailers, manufacturers supporting racing. So happy to have Rock Life Off-Road on our team this year. I like the color scheme here, the blue and pink cage. A little something different.
Yeah, you can find that one in a crowd,
Absolutely.
Speaking of crowd,
Your sister told
how
me
many
don't you mess up
side-by-sides
the
do you think
buggy.
are parked out on this hill
And
right
you
now?
do that.
Oh, no.
Now,
One more is parked
Somebody
on the
help
hill
me.
now.
that's right.
Help him, Tom
Oh, no.
Cruise.
That's right. A little bit of air,
Oh,
and
Sean, that's not a parking spot.
a little bit of air, and it went a little south, but we're going to wait for the thumbs up, make sure everything is okay. It sounds like he's going to be all right. Thumbs up is there, and we'll get him nice and recovered off the course. So a DNF for Mr. Sean Dowdy.
Dowdy.
Yes. Okay. All right. Now, if you're watching the live feed with us, you're getting to see us, but also some of the new technology we're seeing is camera inside a camera. So you're still getting a chance to see the recovery happen just up there. Actually, the recovery is happening just where these icons are spinning here. So we are right on race course again. The production trailer's right in the business every single time.
I don't know how Clyde gets this thing.
Yeah, it's pretty
in
amazing.
here.
It is pretty amazing where we are.
Without dropping it off this cliff over here. So shout out to Clyde.
Absolutely.
Good trailer driving skills.
Absolutely. Excellent
I did
work.
tell him, I was like, we need a bigger production trailer. You guys, you have to see how jam-packed it is and how long it takes to set everything up.
Absolutely.
We're trying to continually step up the technology and step up, but all that means new gear and new equipment and new toys in here. So
Absolutely.
Clyde was
Now,
like, if we get a bigger trailer, I can't get in all these places we go
it's
to.
true, but I will say this: you're getting a good look at all of the spectators here on a Friday afternoon. This is pretty amazing. Like we said earlier, this is pretty special to have this many people out here on a Friday afternoon. Beautiful weather.
Absolutely.
And one of the best parts about Wildcat Off-Road Park is the hills that we race on. They're very easily accessible, and the spectator area is very, very. It's very visible.
This is one of our most spectator-friendly parks,
Yes.
for sure. Which a lot of the parks have, in the last few years, gone that way anyway. We're not all lined up on the side of the hills like we used to be, 5 years ago or whatever, watching a race. But Wildcat has this bowl out here that's the pit area, and then it makes a hillside for all the spectators to sit out and have a great view of the racing hills right across from it. So if you've never been here before,
come see us tomorrow.
Yeah, come on.
Come out. And we've got Dan Carter on the line. Now, this is Danger Dan, and he is running his full body. Dan has put that full body through Bounty Hills, courses of all different kinds, endurance racing, whatever it is. That machine has shown it. If there's someone that you could pick on for abusing a stock machine or a stock full body and doing well, it's Dan Carter.
Hey, we don't call him Danger Dan for nothing.
He's willing to put himself in some pretty precarious spots, that's for sure.
Dan came up to the trailer earlier to ask Clyde a question, and we were testing the microphone. So I was like, here, we'll kill two birds with one stone, just like, ask him your question in the microphone. And then, of course, whenever the drivers come around, I try and weasel a little bit of fun information out of them.
Absolutely.
They get nervous sometimes. If you walk up to them with a notebook or a camera, they're like, nope, I gotta go. But I did ask Dan what's his favorite food right now, and he's probably going to be like, why is she telling everybody this? General Tso's chicken.
Okay, so...
And so when he's not racing, he's out getting them some
Chinese. So I'll tell you this. I had General Tso's this year for the first time. I branched into all that kind of fun food for the first time this year. And
From what? What do you mean?
like I had never had
did you
Chinese
used to
food
eat?
before.
What?
Yep. So pretty clean eats. If you're like me and you go from the big healthy fitness workout lifestyle and then you get a family,
My favorite
things
part
change
of
a little
the
bit.
we got
But
Dan.
I
came
gotta
here
say
for
this
the
too.
fans, the main
I'm happy because my
quarters.
family's
Oh,
actually out here
yeah.
today. They're
Looking at
enjoying the
Yeah.
race. It's really nice to have them here. But it looks like the race course is finally clear. It looks like Dan Carter is ready to rip.
We don't know which one yet.
All right, I can barely see my screen out here. What's up, Camp?
Dan Carter's off the line, and I think we're going to see Dan go the smoothest fast route rather than the rocket ship route here.
Good call, Brooks. Yeah, can you do that every time for us? I even have a note in my notebook and I still forgot. Dang it. There's too many things. Good job, Nick.
Dan is making really short work of these hills.
Speaking of Rock Life, huge sponsor of Dan's.
Oh.
So that's a great example. I know for a fact
Right,
that
do
Dan
that,
is
do it
running
faster.
32-inch tall tires, which is kind of the go-to tire for a UTV right now.
There you go.
It's very quickly becoming 35s, but Dan's running 32s, and you saw there he bottomed out in between those ruts, and that should tell you right off the rip here that these courses are dug out. One of the beautiful things that happens whenever you run a race course multiple
That's a
times.
62.088.
62.088 for Dan.
But one of the things that happens to the race courses when you run it a couple different times is that it changes every single time it gets raced, and it progressively gets worse every single time. So we can needless to say that this will be the worst conditions for this race course. And one of the best things too is that rain, that mud puddle you're seeing on screen there, that rain is keeping all the dust down, which is beautiful on a day like today. We're going to be able to see all the action, and there's no one that I probably would want to watch action-wise other than Paul Wolf, because this guy is lightning fast, and that stock machine right there, it's pretty stock from the outside, but on the inside it's made of pure metal.
Don't ask people on Facebook too much about how they feel about that.
Absolutely, that thing is built with fire.
We'll get some comments, all right. I know Paul went and put a beat down last weekend at the point one race.
I mean, you can just hear and see that suspension working out, and he is absolutely all over the gas. Big air.
I think as much as anything, though, Paul really just puts in the time, to know the vehicle and know what works right, and also just the seat time to be able to drive it.
Absolutely, and Paul's support staff too. Hats off to the team behind him, including his girlfriend Christy. What an awesome team, and his brother Nathan that races primarily Ultra
that
4.
Races together, stays together. Yeah,
I hope.
that should be a thing. If it's not.
That's a 42.876.
So
42.876.
that will
for
put
Paul.
Wolf in the lead.
Why don't you give us a quick? You want to do top 3?
Yeah, how about top 6? We got a second.
Okay.
So out of everyone that's run, we've had 6 drivers run. Paul Wolf is sitting in first place with his 42. Brandon Davis with a 45. Casey Howell with a 56. Curtis Lemon with a 61, and Dan Carter with a 62. So we're exactly halfway through our drivers list right now, and on the line we should have Matthew New.
Another new driver.
I got to brag on the computer. It's pretty nice.
Yes, I forgot how nice this was when Dave used to bring the computer in.
Yep, and I'll tell you this right now. I see that the drone is here as well. I know tomorrow we can expect drone footage, and this is going to be an awesome place because the drone has plenty of room to run.
Oh, yeah.
Now, again, Matthew New here is running a 4-seat machine, stock cage. He is letting it go, but obviously the thing with the 4 seats, you're going to get that extra wheelbase. It's going to ride a little bit better for you. And typically in a climbing situation, four-door, is going to have a little bit of an advantage. Yeah, all these tight turns and whatnot are going to be where it has a disadvantage, but in these hills, the four-door always will shine.
You know, I'm really curious to see how this goes for him because my dad and I, we were kind of joking, like kind of serious, like we should just bring the four-door Razor out for the stock class just
Absolutely.
for fun.
Absolutely. And we just saw him go a little Dukes of Hazzard two-wheel drive style up on two wheels there just on that last turn. But it looks like Matthew New is going to come out the top.
61819.
That should land him right in the 5th or 6th place position, just above Dan Carter. So if you're just now joining us, we're about to watch Wade Good take off the line here. Wade seems to be in a new machine. So Wade is typically running his Polaris Razor buggy, and Wade Good is absolutely hauling the mail in that Can-Am X3, letting it just rip. One thing that I can tell you, being a UTV guy, is the Can-Am suspension right out of the factory is pretty amazing, and you can see it there where he's really able to push hard through those whoops and those rocks, and I think you'll see it right here too, because smooth is fast.
Whoa.
And Wade Good is all about being fast.
Wade is definitely one of our drivers to keep an eye on out here. Oh, and he did get a flag up there at the top.
I believe that will be a small penalty.
That's a flag. You can't win with a flag hit.
What was it?
45.537 and a 30-second penalty. You remember the flag?
So 75.537?
7537.
75.537. Yes. So Wade did get a 30-second penalty, unfortunately, for taking out that flag at the top of the hill.
At least it's not a DNF, so that'll be good to go.
You got the penalty.
Timer before the flag.
30-second penalty. He wants to know if he crossed it first.
They're right there at him.
They're right together. I'm sure he'll be coming to ask.
I would have to agree with you. I will say that machine looks pretty dialed in the suspension. Just him ripping off the line here. It looks so smooth, even if the little chatter. So I'll tell you this, just from my experience, one of the best things that you can do for your UTV, up, down, racing, trail riding, whatever it may be, is invest a little bit of work in the suspension. So whether that be a springs or internal valving, I actually have one of my friends that does internal valving, Diddy's Big Block Race Shop. I sent my shocks off to him, and let me tell you, when you go riding a UTV like rock crawling, you get beat up all day long. But when you send your shocks off, like I did to Chris, man, it's like your kidneys don't hurt, your back doesn't hurt. It becomes a really enjoyable experience to go take your UTV and go enjoy trails. So I highly recommend it. Like I said, that's one of my buddies, so always give a shameless plug there, because it is the biggest investment and most fruitful investment you can make in your UTV, hands down, outside of a cage.
Whether you're planning on racing or not.
Absolutely.
It just adds to the enjoyment.
Absolutely. And if you are racing, there's suspension, valving, springing, there's performance gains there. But on top of that, if you're just a trail rider and you want a smoother ride, you're looking for that comfort, internal valving is hands down the best money that you can spend. It looks like next on the line, we're going to have Kai Kluthier on the line.
And Kai did race with us at Windrock as well. Another one of our newcomers to the stock class. Glad to see him back for race number 2.
Absolutely. Now, Kai tricks me every time, because from the back, that looks like an X3, but that is just a super blacked out, decked out Pro XP. And Kai is not afraid. Kai actually blew his front diff at Windrock 2, and he said, we're going to two-wheel drive and we're going to climb the hills no matter what. I am shocked that front end is still pulling, landing like that.
He's definitely putting it through its paces.
Now, this is also a Lemon Fab car from Curtis Lemon.
Uh-oh. Speaking of those ruts on this hill.
I can tell you this, though. That is steep. Those are some very steep hills.
Oh, yeah. Always so much deeper in person.
Yeah. Oh! Little clip of the flag there.
Oh, man.
Copy that. 89.895, 89.895.
89.895 for Kai Kluthier.
I do know that will put Kai in last place currently, unfortunately. Those flags are tough.
He had a good run hill.
Those flags are tough. So next on the line, I believe that this is going to be Clint Garrison. I know Clint actually did not have his stock or full body machine,
I
rather.
have no idea what he's driving for right now for this class, so that could be him.
So I don't either. He didn't have his full body machine ready for the last race, so I actually think he had a stand-in driver. But this is a YXZ, if I remember correctly. This is a Yamaha. These are not commonly seen out here because the YXZ actually uses a manual transmission where you have to use a foot clutch and, paddle shifters, so on and so forth.
Oh, interesting.
It's a different spin on it, but I'll tell you this, if you know how to drive it,
That's a lot to handle.
hey, he's a talented
You're
driver.
racing.
He won his race last weekend, or I believe he came in second actually at another race event last weekend. So Clint is no stranger to the podium, and I'm pretty confident that he can make just about any machine work. But while you're listening to his car as it passes by, you'll definitely hear him shifting gears in that Yamaha. Now, Yamahas are, in the UTV space, notoriously short course cars, so it's on the hills and in the rocks that you'll typically see the Yamaha have a little bit of issues just with the clutching, like you saw there, just getting going again. Clint looks like, Clint's an awesome driver, but the Yamaha having to use the manual transmission and use a clutch with your foot can be a little tough when you're in those rock sections.
Yeah, that's a handful on me.
And he is absolutely letting it bang off that ramp limiter. Clint Garrison came to party in the Rock Life Off-Road stock class.
56.298 for Clint.
I'm going to give you guys a quick update on our leaderboard. Our top three as of right now, very exciting here. Paul Wolf still retaining that first place position with 42. Brandon Davis with a 45, and Clint Garrison sneaks in there with a 56.895.
Nicely done. And you can see our crowd of spectators in a sea of UTVs out there right now.
And
it's a lovely sight to see.
It is, and that honestly. All right, so I just got the word that we do not have the final driver for the stock class, and the stock times unofficially are going to be Paul Wolf in first place, and this is on Hill 1. Let me phrase that. Hill 1, Paul Wolf with a 42.876. Second place will be Brandon Davis with a 45.669. Clint Garrison with a 56.298. So congratulations, gentlemen, for your Hill 1 time. We're going to get set up for, are we running Unlimited or Hill 2 for stock? Unlimited Hill 1. Getting ready for that. Just a few moments here and we'll be ready to rip. And as always, it's always very interesting to know what you guys are up to, where you're from. If you're at work, let us know. If you're catching a quick live feed on the job, or if you're able to relax and watch the race with us. Very exciting stuff here.
Oh, there we are. All right, guys, and if you just jumped in on this recently, we are here at Wildcat Off-Road Park in East Bernstadt, Kentucky. We are here for the Yukon Gear and Axle Northern Series Round 1. This is our second race for the season so far, and presented by Mickey Thompson this weekend. And since we're here at Wildcat, we of course want to be sure to give them an extra huge shout out, as they are an official partner of the National Rock Racing Association. So huge thanks to them and to all of our sponsors and those who partner with us, volunteer, put in their time, effort, energy, and money into keeping rock racing great.
And it's definitely great today, I can say that. Beautiful weather, beautiful people out here, beautiful machines. please come join us tomorrow, Saturday. We'll be running UTVs and the big bouncers. So the big show comes out tomorrow. It's going to be very exciting, you guys.
All right, who's checking in here? Goodness, I got to turn up my brightness. I max it out here. Sun is so bright. I love it. Daniel Clinton did lay a good pass. We got James Bell from Logan Lake in Canada, British Columbia. Robin, it is a beautiful day for racing. I left the house in the middle of a tornado warning last night. I'm in Middle Tennessee. And then we come out here and it looks like this today. So I love it. Spring weather, right? You never know what you're going to get. Sean says, I look reckless. That would be my lovely Off-Road Vixens shirt. Shout out to those ladies with Off-Road Vixens for all the awesome stuff that they have. And keeping us ladies out
Jump
here
to that
in
door
the
up there.
off-road, racing, adventure, whatever you want to do world, wearing some cool clothes. And I really am more of a calculated risk person myself than straight up reckless, but you know, give me enough caffeine, we'll see what happens. Ethan Martin, where are you?
Justin Mitchell.
Why aren't you here?
Justin Mitchell on the line. Clock's hot.
So right out the gate, you can tell Unlimited machines are letting it absolutely go today. And there's a big difference between those stock full body machines and these Unlimited. Unlimited basically means whatever goes, whatever you show up with, race with what you brought. And big difference between that and what a full body can do in terms of speed. A lot of the times the full body can still climb the hills, but the Unlimited chassis
just do it a lot faster.
Absolutely. And I think we're seeing that here with Justin, excuse me.
And we did have several new drivers joining in on the RCV Unlimited Cup Series. So we love seeing that. We had several in the stock class and several in the cup class.
Out the top, and I will comment that the stock
48.347.
48.347.
Now I will add that the course that they're running is slightly different from the stock class because obviously being an Unlimited machine, they're going to put you in a little bit harder situations. So the stock class, if you're getting a chance to look at the hills directly, the stock class is running the far right hill and the Unlimited is running just a couple lines over, and it's definitely harder. A lot less ruts and way more rocks. Jonathan Lewis on the line.
Ethan, I hear that. It happens. Tiffany's checking in from Noonan, Georgia.
Jonathan Lewis doing a little Dukes of Hazzard for us there. Now, Jonathan is a new driver with us for this race, correct?
He is, yeah.
Very exciting stuff to see new guys come and jump out, and we can see that he's getting those pre-race or those early race nerves, getting them all sorted out here by just airing it out really quickly. Just to give you an idea how steep those little ledges are.
60259.
That's a 60259. 60259.
Just to give you a quick idea of how steep those ledges are, every single time the UTV has gone up that hill, the front end comes off the ground and they kind of wheelie out the top of every single ledge. So if you're looking for a point of reference, I always say if you can see directly on top of the machine, if you can see the roof, it's pretty steep. But when you can see the front wheels come off the ground, it's really steep.
There's your sign.
Absolutely.
All right, I believe we've got Casey Howell back on the line. I guess one class wasn't enough for him today. He wanted to get in on both.
If you're going to come race. I like it.
Want to get himself some seat time. This is a good way to do it.
So because a lot of the course is the same between stock and unlimited, you only have to think that the more times he can run this course, the better his time will be, especially on hill 2.
Yeah, pretty much the only difference is
the exit hill.
The hill, yeah, the end hill. The first half of the course is all the same in both classes.
Out the top with a little donkey kick there. I will say it sounded a little sputtery there at the end. Hopefully that's not something serious.
49.621.
49.621 for Casey Howell.
All right, so on the line, we have probably one of the most exciting drivers.
The up-and-coming hero, Cutter Sorensen, fixing to run his lunch money.
He's running the Mickey Thompson tires. Wow. Okay, so not only our youngest driver by a long shot, but he is actually running the Mickey Thompson UTV tire. Now, this tire has been speculated for a long time, and about a year ago, there was some social media stuff, 2 years now, because I think it was at SEMA where they released their UTV tire. And let me tell you, the full big Mickey Thompson dig tire that is offered for the bouncers, they just made a smaller version for the UTVs, and it is a beefy.
They just kind of pared it down a little bit.
It is all beef, came ready to party. And for those who don't know, Cutter Sorensen, or Cutter Wayne rather, I don't know which the full name. I think they call him
Cutter Wayne Sorensen.
Okay, yeah. There we go. I've heard both. So we'll just call him Cutter for now. 5 years old, out here running the same
5 years old, and
hills.
he came to party too.
And
have you seen his mullet?
I was about to say, I knew that when I saw his mullet, but there's a great image of those Mickey Thompson tires. You can see just how much meat is on those tires. Very aggressive tread, and it's exactly built for what we're doing here today. Now, I always like to put this into somewhat perspective. You know, there's a lot of guys at home sitting here, and you know, they're kind of thinking to themselves, he's just kind of cruising, taking some time here. Cutter is 5 years old.
Yeah, first of all, he's 5.
Yeah, like, I got a chance to go back and watch some of the footage. I wouldn't let my son run those hills at Windrock, but man, I myself would not have run some of those hills. So Cutter is made of absolute iron, and he's out here just creeping up these hills.
He's no stranger to racing.
True.
He normally has raced with 2 tires instead of 4.
That's right.
But he, decided to come on over and show all these guys what's up.
Now they do say
in the UTV class,
with age comes the cage. That is not the case here. I don't think that's the case here. I think Cutter is far from done in his 2-wheel ventures, but it looks like Cutter is just gonna wind his way out of the top of the course.
So close. Come on,
yeah,
Cutter.
He's got just the last ledge left. Just needs to straighten up and get out and finish the business here.
There it is.
And there it is. I'll tell you this. This is Cutter's very first hill completion. So very exciting stuff. 5-year-old Cutter Wayne finishes Hill 1 for the UTV Unlimited course.
Cutter. And you guys can't hear it, but he's got quite the cheering section down in the pit and spectator area right now. So I did not get his time. Clyde, what was his time?
1:22.734. Only one more to go.
1:22.734 for Cutter Wayne. And that means
should be Tyler Bradley on the line.
It's a little harder to see. They were so close last time at Windrock. You could just kind of look over your shoulder.
I do feel a little spoiled, but we do have this awesome.
Hear each other.
Absolutely. We do have this awesome live footage here as Tyler Bradley takes off the start line and goes and attacks Hill 1 for the UTV bounty course, and he's almost back over, but not quite. A little bit of a short run here, but
it's going to be hard to win doing that.
in the wise words of Mr. Zach Garner, It's going to be hard to win doing that. Looks like he's okay. Looks like he's safe. So glad to have him safe, but unfortunate DNF on hill number 1. I'm just blown away by Cutter, watching him come on back by here. And again, those Mickey Thompson tires, those are actually really cool. Those are ready to party, no doubt. But I wish you guys could see the entire pits is just happy for him, looking at him, and welcome him back into the pits as he finishes hill 1. It's so cool.
I wish I was that cool when I was 5.
I was not.
Heck, I wish I was that cool now.
Yes, agreed. He not only does he have a better hairstyle than me, but he has twice the amount of hair as me too. So our cameraman here is flaunting off his hair as well. Very exciting stuff here. If you're missing out on the race, I encourage you, come out, enjoy the live feed. Let us know you're watching with us. That's one of the best things. Just chime in, say hey, and let us know you're here with us.
And if this weekend is just the distance or whatever is not feasible for you to be able to come out and experience it in person, head to nationalrockracing.com. Check out our schedule of events for the rest of the season there, and hopefully you can find one that's going to be close enough to you. We got places, parks all over the southeast that we'll be racing at.
Almost to the middle of the country. Oklahoma's pretty much the middle of the country.
It's mid-America. It's park. So
you think they did that on purpose? I like it. I hadn't thought about that.
Oh yeah. So check it out. See if you can come. Of course, we love having you guys join us on the live feed. That's why we're here. We love doing it. We want everyone to be able to be part and experience the sport and the people. But there is just something special about being here in person and, getting to sit out on this hillside on a beautiful sunny day and watch some racing.
Absolutely.
I'm sure your couch is probably pretty comfortable too, but,
And we have a course clear.
Just a second, you will.
Looks pretty clear.
Yeah, EMS is back.
I think I'm going to have a nice tan just on my right arm.
We're going to have to roll the sleeves up for this one.
I started rolling too.
We got
It's a good problem to have.
on the line.
So,
Let's see what he can do.
household name, Tim Cameron on the line. Tim Cameron
There's a
is
name that you might have heard before.
obviously very decorated, UTV driver and bouncer driver. Tim is in his Turbo S Razor buggy, sporting that Tim Cameron green as always.
Now that that's like his signature color scheme, I wonder if he'll ever be able to, do
I
something else.
don't think it would be
Probably
Tim
not.
Cameron without the green.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you,
It
him
would
coming.
probably slow him down if he were any other color.
That's right. Him coming through that rock section back there, he was taking some rocks with him. I could hear it from the production trailer, just how, low to the ground and stable that machine is. But with lack of ground clearance comes a nice grip from the
He's
skid
just
plate.
floating right through there. I think on all of his
Out the top.
vehicles, the suspension that he has he just floats right over everything.
That is where seat
It
time
makes
comes
such a
into play.
difference. Yes.
Because
and he can pick a line. He'll be out
Absolutely.
here studying the hill. Clyde, what was the time?
3:43.
What? 43.143 for TC. 43.143. I thought you did too.
Well, I thought I seen 3 now. But somebody walked across the line right when you broke the chase.
I got you.
Just a quick reminder, as we're getting ready to see what looks like John Radcliffe on the line, this is the Yukon Gear and Axle Northern Rock Racing Series race number 1, presented by Mickey Thompson at Wildcat Off-Road Park. Travis Cooper on the line. Clyde, who's running? So confirmed that this is Travis Cooper on the line.
Yeah, what? You went out here.
Now, this is one of the few machines that's actually a two-seat buggy. I had a two-seat rock bouncer UTV, and it is awesome to be able to bring somebody with you. So not very often that we'll see two-seat machines being raced, but this is definitely no slouch.
Nice and smooth. 44.221.
44.221. 44.221 for that guy.
Hello, it's Jeremy. Hey, how are you? Who do we have on the line?
We got John Radcliffe on the line.
All right, now we've got John Radcliffe on the line.
We got John Radcliffe on the line. Radcliffe.
Now, this machine is surprisingly quiet.
It is.
It's got the stock muffler on this machine, and I'll be honest, I didn't hear him take off the start line. I kind of like it. I don't know about you guys, but there's a time and place for big horsepower and big engines, but Mr. Radcliffe has it figured out. That thing is quiet.
Sometimes it's nice for your ears not to be ringing.
Absolutely. Well, I just think about, oh, no, that's not a good sound you want to hear. It sounds like the front end, and that is definitely gone. Maybe it's a full trans.
Uh-oh.
Looking like he's got no gears there regardless of the shifting. It's not a good sign when you can hear him shift from over here. It sounds like it's wanting to catch, but it's going to be bad luck for Mr. John Radcliffe. And these Polaris Razor machines, they're notorious for breaking the transfer case. The case will actually have so much deflection in there that when it fully loads up, it'll really torque up and it'll crack the case. There goes your fluid, there goes your gears, and it's not a good time.
That'll ruin your day.
That is a really rough fix because there's quite a few gears in that transmission. Cases are far and few between unless you go for an aftermarket solution. And it looks like he's obviously got forward and reverse, but we're going to hope for the best for Mr. John Radcliffe. Hopefully it's just a front end issue.
Yeah, I mean, he got himself off the hill, so that's a good sign, I guess.
And I don't hear, any clanging and banging as he's going.
Yeah, any rattling.
So that'll be a DNF for Mr. Radcliffe.
Who's asking for their time? All right, Bradubley is on the line.
All right, Brad.
I believe he raced with us last season.
Now that is not a stock exhaust. That is a machine
I heard that one.
tuned and ready to rip, no doubt. I can't see that bright RCV orange tucked underneath there. The strongest axle on the planet, no doubt. Woo, a little rough there. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
no.
It looks like he's going to come back. He's coming back.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what I'm
Get
talking
over.
about. I mean, you ain't going to win, but you're going to make the highlight reel.
Nicely done. 56.042.
That's a
For Brad.
56.042. 56.042 with a rollover and self-recovery. Not too shabby.
Hey, Clyde, do you have an extra mouse in there? Okay.
Zach Salyers is on the line, another one of our newcomers.
Funny, real short story. Well, actually, after Zach runs, I got a funny story for you.
All
I think I'm seeing a trend today with all black buggies. Now, I think that this one's actually a little bit of purple on it, and that purple is very, very sharp.
I do like that purple. It's kind of my signature color.
Oh, the purple?
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought my favorite color is orange. It just so happens to be extremely popular in the off-road world.
It
But
does.
we're watching Zach here. Smooth is fast, and this run is going to be fast. Now, I can tell you those Super Grip ATV K9 tires are digging, and they're super deep. And they're an excellent competitor for that Mickey Thompson. Let me tell you this, though. That Mickey Thompson is built to dig the ground out.
51.770. 51.770.
51.770. What was the finish time?
Tim Cameron had a time of 43.143.
Just gonna do this here so if anyone comes and asks.
Now I'm going to go ahead and get it. I'm going to get you guys your top three here.
Brandon Davis.
So our top three as of now are very close. Tim Cameron is sitting in first place with a 43.143. Travis Cooper in second with a 44.221. Justin Mitchell in third place with a 48.347. And on course we have, is that Mr. Brandon Davis? Brandon Davis is known around here as Mr. Consistent. This is the exact same machine that he ran in that stock class as well. No changes, no modifications, no flash tunes, no nothing. Same machine, same horsepower.
44.574.
44.574.
That will push him into third place for Mr. Brandon Davis.
So far it is Tim Cameron followed by Travis Cooper and then Brandon Davis right now for the RCV Unlimited Cup Series brought by CA Technologies. Adam Coots is on the line.
All right, everybody's least favorite racer, Adam Coots.
Adam Coots had a little bit of an unfortunate, well,
speaking of.
I shouldn't have even said anything.
Whoa,
Unfortunately, at Windrock,
that corner is eating some people's lunch up there.
Absolutely. At Windrock, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Adam hit a rock that was just right in the perfect spot, completely sent him to a stop from probably 40 miles an hour to zero. He ended up being okay. He said he was a little sore because of that 5-point harness. But I know that Adam is going to be really disappointed with that right there because a little bit of bad luck on Hill 2 at Windrock and a little bit of bad luck here on Hill 1 at Wildcat Off-Road Park. So,
but you know what? He's still got tomorrow.
That's right. That's right. And he has Hill 2. Don't forget that.
Yes. Which everyone that has struggled with this corner here, I wonder if they're all going to ease up a little, have a little
you would think
anxiety on round two.
And if there's any advice, I think that drivers who have not run yet, what they're looking at, what they're seeing here, is take it easy in that first turn.
That
because
corner must be, I don't know, it doesn't look like it would be very dry, but I haven't walked over to that side. I don't know if it's rutted or
I think that it's
over there.
The hill coming out to the top there is really rutted, so when they're kind of popping their exactly, they're jumping out of that hill, and as soon as they hit that flat land's giving them a ton of traction, and just throwing that back end around just a little bit, and not in the good way, unfortunately. looking like we got a little bit of oil burning out there too, so I think they got him uprighted, got him the engine started back up and all that kind of fun stuff. So Adam Coots, unfortunate DNF for Hill 1, and it looks like we have Wes Keene on the line. Now, I will say this. I spoke to Wes Keene just before the Windrock race during pre-running. He was running. Yes, Wes Keene's information list is longer than anyone else. It's a man of very few words for sure.
Wes Keene's page is totally empty. And everybody else has some details on it, but Wes hates talking to
Now,
us.
I will tell you this. Some information I did get from Wes at the last race is he has built a new X3 buggy, and it's going to be debuted here because he was actually pre-running, had it down at the Windrock race, and during pre-running, he had an engine issue.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Couldn't run it, and all he said to me was, these guys are lucky I'm going to have to run my full body. So he jumped in a full X3 or a full body X3 and tore up the stock and the unlimited course. But Wes Keene is here to absolutely put on a show every single time. And in this new machine, the cool thing about it, X3 based, super narrow. I mean, so narrow that not even the shocks are inside the chassis. Everything is outside the chassis, and what I mean by that were the reservoirs for the back shocks. They're mounted outside the chassis, so a little bit of danger there, but that just goes to show you Wes Keene has streamlined this chassis and tried to make it as agile as possible, and you can see that in that quick turn he just did there. This machine is super nimble.
Being one of the first bouncer drivers I ever really saw, I don't know, maybe like 10 years ago or more now. And he
Wes
just
Keene
continues to just be one of those drivers where you just wait and see what's going to happen because you know it's going to be good.
I can tell you this, just watching it there, he was slinging everywhere, which tells you he's all over the throttle, because when it's moving like it's on ice, that just means the wheels are spinning really fast.
And the fact that he just got a 39.499, which puts him in the lead.
Wow.
I think that machine's doing something right.
Not only puts him in the lead, that's a foot stomp of a lead. That is almost, it's about 8.5 seconds, 9 seconds there for first place lead. So very impressive for him. Short funny story before this driver takes off the line here. I text my wife and I ask her, my laptop's having a little bit of issues with the mouse pad here. So I text my wife and said, is there a mouse in my bag in the car? And I got 7 texts back saying there's a mouse in the car, and then ultimately she realized I'm in a computer mouse. So glad to have her here with me.
Gave her a little bit of a scare, huh?
I wish she was up here at the trailer with us, but Zach Whitehead is on the course and doing an excellent job. Nice run here so far.
What was Wes's 39.1?
Wes Keene had a 39.499. And again, these are unofficial times. There's a little bit of delay and a little bit of the telephone game played between getting these scores. And all the official results are posted post-race outside of the top 5.
So Zach Whitehead says his hometown is DeBerry, Texas. So I don't know if that means he came all the way from Texas just for this, or what kind of traveling he did to get here.
That's a 47.29, 47.829.
47.829 for Zach.
Let me do my nice sort here.
Yeah, why don't we
give
run
us a
through
nice
the top
update.
5?
So our top 5 as of right now: Wes Keene sitting in first place with a 39, Tim Cameron with a 43 in second place, Brandon Davis, Travis Cooper with a 44.221, Brandon Davis with a 44.574, and Zach Whitehead is sitting in 6th place currently. Next on the course is Mr. Wade Good himself. Wade is notorious for laying it all on the line, and I think we're seeing that right here for sure.
So Wade got himself a haircut, and he looks like a totally different person. I think I asked him if it's like his alter ego. Does he drive faster with less hair?
I didn't recognize him in his helmet when he drove by shortly.
Yeah, it's crazy. Seems like it might have worked for him and shaved a
Absolutely.
A few milliseconds off.
He is floating like a bee over the top of those rocks.
40.178. I believe that is second place right now.
Absolutely.
That means Wes Keene with a 39 still in the lead, now followed by Wade Good with a 40.1. Did I just say 170 or 178? What did you write?
178.
I'm like, I can hear Zach, the echo from Zach talking and Clyde in the radio. It's like maxing out my multitasking abilities right now. Plus there's numbers involved, so that just makes it even harder. Anybody else get that? Who's with me? Hey Kathy, how's it going? All right, guys, let us know where you're watching from. We always love to see that. I think I saw someone from Germany check in earlier. I had to restart my feed since then, so I can't scroll back up to it. But if you're still watching, pipe back in. Let us know how things are looking on your end. Feed looks pretty good from what I can see right now. Hopefully it stays that way. I think we've got Tyler Heinzel on the line.
That's correct. I will not mistake his wrap. He has the 3 cross wrap on there.
Oh yeah, I can see. I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was looking at Oh! Looking good, Tyler. Whoa, that Turbo Polaris through its paces.
So Tyler Heinzel with a respectable run there, smooth. A finish is always better.
46.660 for Tyler.
Cash LeCroy
None
on
other
the
than
line.
cash money on the line. No credit cards today, folks. This is a cash-only event. Cash, of course, we could say he was our youngest driver until Cutter joined the race family here, but we could say Cash is one of our youngest drivers, although definitely not one of the least experienced in any way, shape, or form. I'd say he's been driving or racing for most of his life. He races the UTV Cup Series, UTV Bounty, the Big Bouncer, and the RC class. So he is a busy boy on race weekends.
Absolutely.
For 1.012. And let's see, that looks like a third
Okay, that was 40.
place time.
41.012.
Clyde, Timmy got a 43?
I think his is at 39. The problem is right when it stopped is what I see, and then somebody crossed the start line and scored it. So I gotta go back and look at the history. I think it's
Okay.
at 39.
So we just got word that the Tim Cameron time may be off.
I gotta go back and look at the history.
So we're going to have to go back.
So we had, right when Timmy crossed the finish line, Clyde saw one number, and then apparently somebody walked through the timer again. So Clyde will need to go back and verify, and we will let you guys know what that time ends up being. Right now, Wes Keen's still in the lead with a 39.4. Then Wade Good with a 40.1, and Cash Lee Croy with a 41.
And we have Wyatt Wilson putting on a show for us out there. Now Wyatt is
That's one way to get over that rock.
Wyatt is sponsored by Super Grip ATV tires, and he is running some super cut versions of those tires. It's really cool. Basically, he made them look like the Tennessee cut TSL Swampers. All that the big bouncers run, that they run their cut tires, he's basically got miniature versions of those. They do really well, but Wyatt is
46.922. So basically, these guys wait and see what works on the big bouncers, and then they scale it down.
Hey, well, think about it like this. That TSL has worked for a long time.
Yeah.
If it's not fixed, or if it's not broken,
been
don't fix
around
it.
a while.
Right. The UTVs have just been looking to be able to mimic it.
Yeah.
But Wyatt Wilson looking great. Got those tires nice and cut, and it looks like when he hit that rock.
Steering wheel.
Yeah, when he came off that ledge and he hit his front end, that steering wheel's completely bent
He
forward.
just pulled up behind the trailer and took his steering wheel off and showed us how bent it is.
It's very bent, but on the wood here is Paul Wolf laying it down, being rowdy as ever. I do love that factory Can-Am livery that all of the Can-Am guys are sporting this year. Super fast. Oh man, that's a heartbreak right there. If you hit a flag, that is a 30-second penalty, and that'll really
Is it every flag or just the finish line?
that'll really hurt some feelings there. Yikes.
72.332 because of the flag penalty.
What Timmy run?
There's some question about it.
We think it was a 39 something.
Yeah.
I have to go back and check because somebody looked at the timer like right
Hit the flag.
So we have a few guests in front of our camera.
I'm guessing that Wade might be feeling a little better about himself hitting the flag now that Paul hit the flag too.
Definitely understandable. So on the line we have Mr. Clint Garrison.
No, Clyde just has to go back and look through the.
Yeah, he captured the time.
Alright, my feed will not load. You don't have it, do you?
No, I'm not on the internet. But on the line, I can tell you Clint Garrison is running Travis Skelton's old buggy. That's the
right.
old 427 buggy. Clint is putting the same amount of beating that Travis used to put on that buggy. And Clint is doing it well, and it looks like the lesson wasn't learned.
That darn corner.
The corner is biting.
You know, it's always what seems like the easy stuff that'll get you the worst.
It's those, yeah, you were talking about how deep those ruts were earlier. I'm getting a better look at it now.
Yeah.
I think the tires are just
Well,
down in there, and then you're trying to turn.
Exactly, and to get out of those ruts that fast,
Yeah.
you're really having to lay in it. So
Yeah.
they're coming off the hill there, and they're in the air, and they're trying to turn at the same time. And
Yeah.
they're learning on that turn tire, or excuse me,
much.
landing on that turn tire, and it's just coming over.
Too much
So
is happening up
a little
there.
bit of bad luck for Clint Garrison. We're gonna get a DNF for Hill 1.
All right, would now be a good time for another top 5 rundown?
Absolutely.
Get sorted there.
Give me one moment here, and I'll get you squared away.
You guys probably heard us say earlier, but if you missed it, the question of Tim Cameron's time, Clyde will need to go back and look through the recorded history. Somebody walked through the timers.
Okay,
That
coming
seems
to the
like it would
line,
be
we
right.
got Donald Thompson.
But we'll get that sorted
Thompson.
out and then make sure we get the order corrected, of course. I'm having a little trouble with my feed loading right now, so if you guys are asking questions or anything like that and we're not answering, we are not ignoring you, just not seeing it.
Absolutely, and as always, the first race of the weekend does seem to be the one where we work some of the bugs out. So very quickly here, our top 5 currently, we have first place Wes Keen with 39.499. Second place Wade Good with 40.178. Cash LeCroy sitting in third place with 41.012. Here's our questionable time, Tim Cameron with a 43.143. And Travis Cooper is going to sit in sixth place with 44.221.
And we are getting Wyatt Wilson recovered off the track. Not Wyatt. Clint Garrison recovered off the track.
The time for Wyatt Wilson was 46.922. What's up, Cutter? How are you, buddy?
To see the 427 buggy out on.
Congratulations on finishing your first hill. Come on up here.
And come talk to us. Yeah, it's a little bit of a big step there. Got it? You got your peanut butter and jelly sandwich? A little fuel for race day, huh? Yeah?
I'm looking and I don't see any flags.
You got something you want to say to everybody?
Yeah. They had a really good race and it was really fun.
Alright, so this is 5-year-old Cutter Sorensen. He raced the lunch money buggy earlier with the Mickey Thompsons and finished this hill. How did it feel, bud?
Really good.
Was it, do you think that, what are you going to do on hill 2? What do you think is going to happen?
Go faster and hopefully not crash.
I like that.
Yes.
Have you been practicing at home?
Good mindset.
Yeah, definitely. How much do you guys practice at home?
We do.
How much do you guys do normally?
Do you go out and practice every day?
No.
No.
Not every day? Every couple of days? Do you come home from school and then go out and drive?
Sometimes.
Are you still racing your bike?
Yeah.
Cutter, tell everybody what grade you're in.
I'm in kindergarten.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just the polish and touch there.
Do you think you're going to race a big bouncer someday? A little older?
Yeah.
You going to drive your daddy's buggy?
Yeah.
As you can see,
Even I've been driving my mom and dad's cars
Oh my goodness.
wow.
to make them move them.
Yeah.
So you're not only getting familiar with the UTVs, but you're getting into driving the big cars already, right?
Talk about some seat time.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
All right, big hand to the recovery crew. Good job, guys.
I
Y'all
was
did
like,
good.
can we
He's
drive
clear.
RC cars?
Let's
And
see
my
if we
dad
can
was
wreck
like,
another one. Y'all
yeah.
stay closer.
And he told me if I can finish my food before him, we can do it. But then he gave me another chance because he beat me. And then after I finished all my food, so then we went and played with
Amazing.
the RC cars.
Amazing.
Sounds like you've got a good thing going, buddy.
Yeah.
Now,
Even my dad made me a jump, but I was doing really bad, so then he got too mad at me.
oh, that's okay.
But you got to practice a little, and you learned from it, didn't you?
Yeah.
I saw one of your videos on Facebook where do you have a jump at your house? A little one your dad made?
Yeah, we have 2. I mean 3.
3.
We had a couple on the little fire pit, but then my dad covered it up to a buggy jump.
To a what?
A buggy jump. Even he made a dirt pile.
Nice. Sounds like you guys have fun. I'm glad. And you get to cheer your daddy on tomorrow. If he bring money shot, he's going to race that?
No.
No?
There's Justin. He's gonna race it.
You got your mom down there in the pits too, right? Yeah, she cheering loud for you while you were racing?
Yeah. She's just hanging out with Laney.
Are they gonna stay there?
Oh, yeah, Laney's sweet.
Are they staying right there?
All right. You got anything you want to let everybody know? Anything else you want to tell people about today, racing, or just something you want them to know about you?
Is that I have a really cool shirt on.
You do have a cool shirt on. You got a Mad Ram 11 Future Rock Bouncer.
Yeah.
It's not going to be far in the future either, is it?
Donald Thompson.
No.
All right,
All right,
next,
thanks for
let's see what
talking
you
with
got.
us, Cutter.
DC Thompson taking off the line here. Now, this was our question because he was out pre-running with us.
DC's a permanent question mark.
Yeah, so he was pre-running with us earlier this morning, missed the driver's meeting, didn't see his vehicle down in the pit, so I'm guessing that there were some repairs done. But DC Thompson is always a wild card. You never know exactly what you're going to get.
Oh, no.
That is a
Saw
tie
that.
rod for sure,
Ouch.
and that is a rough.
I don't think his tire's supposed to be pointing that direction.
No, and that's a rough hit too. That one will jar you up just a little bit, but we can definitely see it's either a tie rod.
You know Wyatt Wilson understands how that felt, right?
Yeah.
That front looks broke.
It looks like it could even be either a broken ball joint or an A-arm even, because that tire's a little crooked, folks. Like I said, DC Thompson, always a wild card.
All right, guys, and for anyone wondering where we are and what we're doing, we are at Wildcat Off-Road Park in East Bernstadt, Kentucky. This is the Yukon Gear and Axle Northern Series Race 1. This is race number 2 for the season overall. Presented by Mickey Thompson this weekend, and huge shout out to Wildcat as they are an official partner of the National Rock Racing Association. So we always want to be sure to thank them and all of our sponsors for everything they help us do.
Absolutely. Now, I do want to say something really cool about Wildcat is, I don't know if you can see on screen there, but the gentleman in the highlighter green and the red, that is actually fire and rescue that are out here with us. And I just saw some law enforcement walk by as well. It was a detective here, actually. So very cool to see the community come around and support and be a part of this community, or be a part of the race community, rather.
Jump cables.
Hopefully this is the best day of their week.
Needs some help at the top. His battery done quit batterying.
Yep.
I like to think that coming out to an event like this is a special experience.
Absolutely. Now, it looks like the entire fire department may be here because they're on every ledge, at the top, at the bottom, and they have multiple vehicles out here. Pretty cool day as a firefighter, I'm sure.
Sean Cutter is, he's a pretty funny little kid, isn't he? We like having him up here to chat with us.
Absolutely. Always a treasure.
You never know what Cutter's going to say.
You never know. Yes, I would agree with
that's true of most 5-year-olds, though.
That's true. My 7-year-old surprises me every single day with the things that she has learned, and not only
repeats.
that, yes, repeats, and also what she's just capable of coming back with some very sharp, very witty remarks sometimes.
Yeah,
so
it's fun as they start. I'm a nanny, so
Okay.
I'm around kids of all ages,
Yeah.
like all the time, and I have nieces and a nephew, so it's
I'm
fun.
normally the target of the roast at my house. So
Oh, no.
always a good time at my house, and you know, if you want to learn how to take a joke well, come hang out with my family, specifically my 7-year-old. She'll tear you up.
She'll tell you like it is.
Yeah,
huh?
absolutely, but she does it with a bunch of love. Now,
Wait, how old is your little guy?
so
Like
my 5 weeks, 6 weeks as of today,
Okay.
actually.
Yeah,
So
that was right on.
yeah, very nice done, nicely done. Yeah, so my little guy and my wife are floating around the park here. Little Jet Atlas was born 6 weeks ago, and that'll be
name.
yeah, right. So our thoughts were, with such a cool name, such a powerful name, bound to do something great. So very excited that he's hanging out with us here at the park today. I think he's hanging out watching the clouds and just enjoying the nice weather.
Well, give him a few years, and then you'll have somebody on your side.
That's
when,
right.
When the ladies of the house start roasting you.
Yes, I am greatly outnumbered as of right now. But on screen, we're waiting for DC Thompson. It looks like a recovery. They called for
That was a good job, DC.
heavy equipment to come pull him
That's
out.
never a good sign.
So we're hoping that it's not much more than just dragging him out, but it's never a good time when you can't get out under your own power.
And it's always interesting to hear what DC's story of the week is for what it took to get him to the race.
So I feel like it's all right to share at this point. Last race, it was working on the vehicle in the trailer on the way to Windrock.
Oh my gosh.
So while they were actually en route, they were working on the machine in the trailer. So very, very DC.
Very DC. What else can you say?
But he was able to run, and I believe he completed both hills. So something somewhere lined up, and not a bad showing for sure.
I feel like he's got a new, it's like a never-ending saga, the DC stories of travels in life and what he does in order to get to a race on time or not on time.
It's true, but all that matters is he ends up here most of the time. But it looks like we are getting the heavy machinery out to get Mr. DC Thompson off the course. A little bit of carnage, but a little bit of breakage, but that's what you're going to get when when
Hey,
we
that's
have
part of racing, man.
yeah, when we have these tougher hills, when
what?
we are aware that the live feed is looking a little different here, but we're gonna get that switched over. Just doing a little bit of viewing on our recordings, but hey, we're back. As you
I've
see,
been telling Clyde he needs an assistant. Okay?
He does.
So if
He
we
does.
have any
Like 15.
super tech savvy, video production savvy people that also love racing,
Yeah, come on
and
out.
want to be part of this production,
Come on
I
out.
don't know Clyde's email, but
reach out to him on any
Facebook
of the
message.
any
Southern
of the
Rock
Facebook
Racing
pages.
Series Facebook page, National Rock Racing. Yes, because we will not turn you down.
Absolutely right.
Clyde's doing the job of like 6 people in that end of the trailer.
Absolutely. Now, any of this time is a good time to talk about what we're doing today. And again, oh wow,
See,
perfect
yeah.
timing. It's a yard sale
Can't
out
see the
there.
screen. Yeah.
Because it's like we say, and we've said a couple times here, it's never a good time when the heavy machinery's got to come out. But like we said, DC's okay, so there's that.
I mean, he's okay, like physically.
We're correct.
Otherwise, we don't know. All right, let's see if I can get this to load again. I don't know what the deal is today. I have to keep going out and coming back to it.
That is absolutely all right. Now, we can take this time to talk. Like I said, my background is in UTVs. My podcast, Racing on the Rocks, which is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of fun stuff. You can find it there. I actually, on my YouTube today, just released episode 90 of the show.
Oh.
Yeah, 90. We're almost at 100. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do for 100.
How often do you release an episode?
I do
How
it.
frequently?
So an episode will go up every single Friday on YouTube, and it's typically available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so you can go back and listen to any of them while you're on the road, or if you're at home and you want to watch my smiling face talk to my guests, you can always watch us on YouTube as well. But one of the cool things is this very week I got a chance to talk to Alex Reed, the owner of CT Raceworks. Now, CT Raceworks is a predominantly Can-Am company. They manufacture Can-Am parts. Really excited to have him on. It was cool talking to him. One of the cool things that Alex talked about in his interview with me was one of the things he talked to me about was he every year tries to do a very interesting off-road excursion, but he does it in primitive camping style. So he's actually building himself an expedition vehicle, and he sent me a picture of it, and it's like a full-blown military truck. And what he wants to do is be able to go, basically on dirt roads, fire logging roads, and tough it out and have everything he needs on that truck.
Nice.
But he also mentioned that this kind of stemmed from a trip that he and his friends were doing once a year or so. He said he had 5 or 6 guys, and he mentioned that they would go to an island just off the coast of Florida, off of Clearwater, Florida, and they would it has a single park ranger that lives on the island, and he's the only inhabitant normally, but it is public land. So what he's done in the past is he's had an individual, he's paid a boat driver to go drop him off, him and his 5 friends, and they'll primitive camp for up to 5 days. And
Wow.
they'll live off the land, they'll fish just off the beach, harvest materials there. It's really, really cool. So I highly recommend you
Cool
check that episode
castaway
out.
scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, and one thing I talked to him about was how good it is to have that kind of reset for your mind, especially in a day where social media and all that kind of stuff is so in your face, and it's constantly demanding your attention.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. It's
Yeah.
almost like a compulsive
Yes.
thing that we feel like we have to do now is stay on top of it all and see what everybody's doing. And
Sometimes it's not worth it, but Alex was talking to me that
we're glad you guys are watching Facebook today.
Absolutely. Race days are an exclusion from
Yeah,
social
that
media.
doesn't count.
Yeah. But Alex was talking to me, and he was basically just saying how much he enjoyed getting back and connecting to nature because he builds some of the top-of-the-line parts. So really cool to have him on and talk about not only the UTV side of things, but getting to know him as a guy. And that's one of the things that we do at the podcast all the time. Anybody that comes on, we'll talk a little bit about racing. We'll talk a little bit about parts, stuff like that. But really, it's getting a chance to know these drivers outside of racing.
Yeah, get to know him as a person.
Yeah, I've had Paul Wolf on. I've had Tim Cameron. I've had Cutter's dad, Tim Sorensen, Sorensen on. He's a hoot, man. I've had Dan Carter, just about everybody you can think about out here. There's definitely a handful of guys that I'm still missing, and we're doing episodes every
Wes
week.
Keene.
I don't know if an hour or two long interview with Wes Keene could happen.
Maybe like 3 minutes.
Yeah, probably 3. I would say 5 once my ads are all
And
said and done.
Any of the Bacons, I don't really see.
I've had
Big Tim, I could see doing it.
I've had Little Tim
Did
on
you?
there. I had
Okay.
Little Tim. We talked about bouncers. We talked because the Bacons are, lineage of
Yeah.
bouncers. They've been around since day one, and we talked a lot about how bouncing has changed over time. Talked about courses and things like that. But we talk about everything on the Racing on the Rocks podcast. Again, check it out. It's always cool, always a good time. And who doesn't want to hear my voice more than this already? That's a joke.
So out of 90, you might not be able to even say, but what are like some of you, like maybe your top 3 favorite interviews?
Personal
for
favorites.
whatever reasons.
Well, so I got to interview 2-time King of the Hammers champion Lauren Healy.
Ah.
That was a cool one. We released that actually in Thanksgiving. And I'm trying to think here.
Probably a lot of names to go back and
Yeah,
think. I
there's
mean, obviously,
so many.
Bree Molitor was probably at, somewhere near
Just
the top
so
of the
happened
list.
to have 2 episodes with Bree. That's probably up there as well. But I'm going back and I'm thinking,
Wait, how many women have you interviewed?
I think you and Cora Joinkin maybe is the right name. She is the owner and head engineer of Torque Masters.
Oh.
And Torque Masters is actually the company that makes a lot of the spools that a lot of the UTV guys run. They make differentials for a whole bunch of different things, and they're actually a very big name in the off-road industry when it comes to gearing, differentials, things like that. So cool to have her on, and cool to have yourself on. I would love.
So basically, we need to get some more.
Yes,
ladies
more ladies on the show.
representing, yeah.
So I haven't reached out to as many as I probably should have, but definitely, ladies in the off-road community, reach out to me. I'd love to have you guys on my show. And favorites, it's hard to pick. They're all
Yeah.
different. Sometimes we get on there and it's a big hangout between me and the guest, and then sometimes they only want to talk shop. They want to get on there, they want to talk to you about business, and that's cool things too. Is you get insight into how off-road businesses are run. You get insight into how to gain sponsorships as a driver.
Yeah.
So Lauren Healy, I mean, he's no stranger to strong sponsorships, whether it be Monster Energy, Ford, and that's probably a big one. Really, really cool stuff. But there's a lot of information in his interview about how to gain sponsorships as a racer. And even if you're an influencer to some degree, I guess I consider myself a media influencer. There's a lot to take from those interviews on how to market yourself, how to make yourself profitable, and get those all-inclusive part deals that everybody wants, and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's awesome to have people who support the sport. And I always say, if they support us out here racing, make sure you guys support them as well.
For sure.
Just like Yukon Gear and Axle.
Yep.
Northern Rock Racing Series Race 1, presented by Mickey Thompson. We're at Wildcat Off-Road Park, enjoying the beautiful sunshine and the blue skies.
It is perfect. This is like the best, because it's not hot and humid yet, like our summertime races. But it's not chilly anymore at all either. It's just like a nice breeze.
Absolutely. I'm going to have to buy us an awning, I think.
I feel like I could be wearing shorts right now, and I would be
I should be
comfortable.
wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And I'll say this
have
too.
A sunburn like right there, but
Yeah, if you're going to come out tomorrow, wear your shorts, bring a cooler full of ice cold drinks.
Yes.
Come sit, hang out with us.
Where's our cooler? Who's in charge of the cooler? All right, Clyde, definitely. We need 2 assistants.
That's it.
For Clyde. Somebody better volunteer soon. We need somebody in charge of the cooler.
That's right. I'll tell you this, I'm excited to get back to racing. It looks like DC Thompson is about halfway recovered here. We've got him attached to the big rig, and he's off the tough section of the race course there, back onto the mainland, and I can see his UTV being picked up now. So just a matter of minutes before we're back to racing.
Bub Meadows says Clyde needs to hire a producer so he can go out and enjoy the show. Yeah, Clyde hasn't actually gotten to go out and watch the race like the old days in a few years now, huh? Yeah. Shane, we are in East Bernstadt, Kentucky at Wildcat Off-Road Park. Cassie, Cassie said you need...
Take down that first number I called for you, that 39163.
No.
No?
I wrote it down.
All right. Cassie said you need to have Christy on the podcast.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I need to reach out to her.
Speaking of Christy,
She's just a rock
she's
throw
on the
away.
line right now. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good call, Cassie. And speaking of ladies in off-road and just doing cool stuff outdoors, one of Christy's new sponsors for this season is Off-Road Vixens.
Awesome.
I mentioned them a little earlier. I too wear a lot of their clothing. I usually like to represent them on the show and on race day and at events and stuff. So they're a really cool apparel and accessories company.
Your
And
Reckless t-shirt there, by the
my
way.
Reckless, yeah. They make lots of just like fun, cool designs that are meant for ladies who are off having adventures.
That's right.
Whatever that might be. It's a wide range of racers and different types of, from dirt bikes to side-by-sides and snowmobiles and everything in between, to just women who like to just go out camping, outdoor, whatever it might be. They make really cool stuff for us, and check them out at offroadvixens.com. If you're here in person this weekend, they even have a booth where you can go shop.
Very nice. And in the background, you'll see. Yeah, Clyde just said it turned out to be pretty hot today.
Yeah,
it is definitely warm.
Tomorrow. We need to get the one out of the merch trailer and take it tonight in your truck and fill it up for tomorrow.
Now, in the background, we can see DC Thompson.
Yeah, but we're all thirsty.
Well, we can see DC Thompson's rig pulling the pinata mode out of DC Thompson's UTV there.
Oh, no.
It is attached to the big rig, and again,
can you?
that's never a good time.
He's like right behind my head. Dang it, wrong way. There we go. He's just walking slowly with a hand on.
It's broke.
It's a sad.
It's very broke.
Sad, slow procession.
Yes. Yep. Clyde just mentioned, he just said it's broke, and it is definitely not in good shape.
Oh,
so
DC. What did I say last time? The D and the C. It's either destroy or conquer.
that's it.
Okay, who we have on the line?
No, unfortunately,
Christy
today
Hutchins
it was
on the
not
line.
Conquering.
Let's go, Josh.
Christy Hutchins is not off the line. I just got fooled by
yeah.
Clint Garrison.
Where's he going?
Ripped off the line there, doing a little bit of testing to make sure. I believe that when he rolled, he had a battery issue and needed some to jump off. So sounds like he's probably getting some voltage back in that car and making sure it's ready to run for Hill 2. On the line, Christy Hutchins. The clock is hot.
Steven, yeah, we definitely miss seeing Sydney out here. I miss seeing a lot of the ladies that used to be regulars at these events, but life changes and stuff happens, and we'll take what we can get. Once you're part of the family, you're always part of the family, whether you're here all the time or not.
Absolutely, and life is busy, no doubt. Looks like Christy took a little bit of an early turn there. No problem.
Paul was probably in her ear saying, no,
Going insane, to say the least. Man, that is a really big drop off on the other side of that rock.
Here comes Christy Hutchins. You gotta be really careful. I don't want to mess that buggy up. Paul needs it tomorrow. Come on,
Getting just
Christy,
a little
you got
sideways
this, girl.
there. These hills are definitely full commitment required.
Nice.
That's a
75.876 for Christy.
75.876 Christy Hutchins.
Now, I'll say this real quick before we do our sort of times here. It sounds like Christy took a little piece of advice from Paul, and Paul probably told her, don't hit that flag. And there was actually a nice, really thick stick up there, and it saved her. She was going right for that flag. But, man, that stick saved her from having that 30-second penalty. So, well done to Christy Hutchins.
Hey, little kid.
What was Paul? Did Paul run?
Track, little kid.
Paul did run.
When you
Paul
look
Wolf.
like-
So Paul Wolf
They won't even get you
had a
real
72.332,
Oh,
and
that's right.
we're going to do and Paul had an unfortunate time due to hitting that flag. It added 30 seconds. So if Paul had not hit the flag, he would currently be sitting in 5th place. Fifth place. So what we're looking at here, I'm going to wait to get the official or the unofficial time for Tim Cameron before I give you the top 5, because that will definitely play into it.
Do we have Tim's time?
39.163 for Tim Cameron. And
Okay.
it's a good thing that Clyde went back and checked, because that is a first place time. Oh.
All right, we are back. Just briefly here before we close it out for the Hill 1 series. We've got our top 5 here. About halfway through. We were waiting on the official time for Tim Cameron to come in, and it looks like we've finally got it here. I'm going to do one last sort, and Tim Cameron will take first place for Hill 1 with a 39.163. That puts Wes Keene in second place with 39.499. Wade Good with a 40.178, and in 5th place, Cash LaCroix with a 41.012. Stout top 5, very consistent top 5 there, but excellent runs on our Hill 1.
Yeah, so that concludes Hill 1 for both of our classes. We're going to take a quick break. Clyde, how long is our break?
We'll take a break about, let's see what time it is. 3. We'll probably kick back off at 4 o'clock.
We'll come back at 4 o'clock for Hills 2 for our Rock Life Off-Road Stock Class and the RCV Unlimited Cup Series, brought to you by CA Technology. See you at 4 o'clock.
What you want, what you want. No matter where your ride takes you. Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you're guaranteed to finish every time.